hello and welcome to MMO Mondays.
Hello.
We're going to make this a thing. So every Monday, just tune in to here.
Also known as YouTube.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the website you're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mondays, tune into AK Amazingness, and we're going to bring you our thoughts on the most recent...
I think we're just calling it AKA now.
Are we?
Yeah. Because that sucks. The name, it's...
That's true.
I mean, it's the name of the channel, but...
Right.
Ideally,
So,
yeah. Alright.
So tune in on Mondays to AKA, and we'll be here to talk about MMOs.
MMOs, yeah. It's a new thing the kids are into these days, so...
It's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Andy.
And I'm Kyle.
And this is AKA. No, our theme song's better.
It is.
Yeah. A little bit of Anamanaguchi action.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Well, recently, Andy and myself have been playing a new MMO. It's DC Universe Online.
Yeah, you probably heard of it.
It's, yeah. We've been enjoying it.
Fantastic game. Good story. I mean, come on, it's DC. You got
It's
Superman, you got your Batman, you got your Wonder Woman.
More than, because I played City of Heroes and Villains when that came out,
I
and
played that as well a little bit.
That had sort of just a generic, all the superheroes were just sort of, you were introduced to them there. But one thing I really like about DC Universe Online is that all the characters already have a backstory. You know them all.
Yes.
They're all the famous superheroes and supervillains that you've seen before.
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. Obviously everyone knows everything about those guys, so it's fun to fight alongside them, fight the supervillains, or fight the heroes if you're a villain. So yeah, a good combat system, way better than WoW.
This is true. Well, it depends what you like.
Right. If you like clicking and watching shit happen.
Yeah, this is more of an action. Whereas WoW, you would you set up your rotation and you hit the key, and
so it's like Guitar Hero.
that's how it goes.
Right.
In this one, while you do have abilities,
Alright, it's not Guitar Hero, but you know.
in DCU Online, you do have abilities and you do wind up hitting buttons, but it's also important to
you mash buttons.
Yeah, you do. You have to string together combos by clicking, and the targeting system also allows you more freedom, I think, than in WoW.
In what way?
Well, in that you can... The targeting needs some work as well,
Definitely.
in my opinion. But you can... Ideally, wherever you are looking, whoever you're looking at becomes your target. Is the way it's set up.
In a perfect world, that's exactly what would
That's
happen.
what should happen.
Right.
What ends up happening is, as you turn to look at another person, someone might run in front of you unexpectedly, and then all of a sudden you're targeting him and doing backflips to try to get over to where he is, and it's
a
little annoying.
That's why you have to use your target locking, I guess. Instinctively, it becomes you have to have a habit of targeting someone and then locking immediately, just focusing on that target. But it can get, we're all lazy. I'm lazy. I don't want to lock on every target. Like, I like to just, because a lot of the times it just works to not. And you just kind of fight around a little group of people and you're able to kill them off that way. But,
right.
It does screw up every once in a while, so it's like, do I want to lock on every time? Do I want to just let it go? I don't know. If you guys play it, then you'll know what we mean. But if we could probably equate this to any game, it would be basically Batman Arkham Asylum Online, because that's kind of the feel that they went for. It's actually the same graphics engine, the Unreal Tournament engine, Unreal 3 engine, so it looks similar to it. Not as same grungy, detailed style, obviously, because it's an MMO, not a single-player game, but fighting wise, it's got like a very action adventure theme sort of thing with mixing in some skills for that MMO flavor, if you will.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely some areas that it's lacking though. Music needs huge improvement. I can't even fucking hear the music half the
That's
time.
true. It's mostly just ambient sort of
Yeah.
noise,
Right.
more than a soundtrack.
Come on, let's get some Danny Elfman action up in here. Like, seriously, you got all the voices from the original DC animated universe.
Which
comic,
are great.
Yes. DC animated universe. Google it, and then watch all those, because you will remember them, hopefully. If you're our generation, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It's pretty violent, but, you know.
Yeah, looking back, some of those cartoons are,
Gratuitous.
yeah, they're. I don't know how I
They're
was not
really
scarred
scary.
for life.
No, I know. I think we were. I think that's why we became
It's
video
possible.
game people. Shooting up people, playing Dead Space, whatever you're doing.
Speaking of shooting up people,
Yes.
it's interesting to note another criticism I would have of DCU Online is that there is this chat filter that is
Horrible.
ridiculous. It censors.
It sees all.
Yes, it censors things that you
Everything.
don't even think are a thing.
If you have, like, we're gonna get it, get it,
Yes.
like the T in get and the it makes tit,
Right.
which apparently is vulgar enough
So-
to censor out.
So your sentence becomes
A bunch of-
like I will G and then pound signs
So many pound signs.
to cover up. Like if you have a swear word that is it's the end of one word and the beginning of another word.
If you say the word fart, it gets censored. Okay?
Fart is censored. Yes, that's. And
I mean,
this
they're
is the
working
same.
on it though.
It's true.
I just saw that they have an update slated that's going to be able to, turn off the profanity filter. They said, their excuse was there were some freezing issues happening on the PS3, and it was between that and the profanity filter, and they're like, what should we fix first? And so obviously they went with the PS3 freezing. But, I mean, it sounds to me like they're a really small team, to be honest. Like, that's the impression I'm getting. They're like doing one thing at a time. So maybe if they get a little momentum, they'll be able to hire some people and fix these bugs a little faster.
Well, they better be
It
able
is
to.
Sony's, as of today, it's their fastest selling game. Sony Online Entertainment, that's their fastest selling game of all time.
A few minor gripes I have with DCU Online would be when you're creating your character, they don't make it very apparent which skills do what, play what role in the game.
That's a good point.
For example, like if you're creating your character, you're like, you choose things based on what you
Looks
like.
cool.
Yeah, what looks cool, the aesthetics that you want. So you might be going through and say, oh man, I really want fire powers. I want to, be able to use fire.
Yeah.
And when you get into the game, it turns out that fire is tanking and damage. So if you wanted to somehow, heal with fire, you're out of luck.
Well, I mean, the tank for fire is based on self-healing. That's kind of what they do. But if you wanted to heal your teammates,
Right.
they're shit out of luck.
Yeah. Each power has two roles. Well, it has every power has a damage role, and then there's another specialty role that power can perform. And I think they need to do a better job of laying that out when you're choosing.
And another thing that people have been asking for on the forums is some sort of might power. Like, you can model your character after Superman, but his power is ice. And the only thing that I can get from that is his breath.
True.
His ice breath. And that's kind of a stretch. So they need some sort of generic super strength power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need a power set like that. People have been asking for that for quite some time, since the beta, actually. They've been asking for a lot of stuff since beta, and that has not happened. Like chat bubbles, the profanity filter problem, stuff like that. So
we'll see. A lot of it comes down to how well the developers are willing to patch the game.
and how quickly, because if they don't, then people are going to lose interest very fast.
It's true. Right now, the content in the game, if you sit down and really play it, like anyone does with an MMO,
When it
2
first
days
comes out.
you'll be at the max level. 2 days,
Guaranteed.
already maxed out. And
That's not rushing through stuff either.
No, that's just playing casually for 2 days. You will get to the highest level,
Yeah.
and then all that's left to do is daily
raids.
Raids and duos.
You start off with duos, which is like 2-man dungeons, and then there's alerts,
standard.
which are 4-man dungeons, and then you work your way up, getting the tier armor by lots of grinding to get the raid armor, the tier 1 raid armor, and then you grind more in the raids to get the tier 2 raid armor, which is completely pointless.
Yeah, and at the way it is now, the first time you go through the duos and the alerts and all that stuff, it's really fun and exciting. But
I can see it becoming very grueling.
Oh man, by the time you get all the marks you need to get the armor set, you will have run those until you know everything about them. One nice thing is that the armor, you're able to lock in a style for your armor, and as you get new armor, you collect that style of armor, which you can switch to. But unlike in WoW, there's always that one point in the game where you're running around and you look like a Boy Scout just because you have the short shorts and a little red cape, and you're just a mishmash of like random shit.
Right.
But
you can look cool from the beginning, and you can keep that costume throughout your entire leveling while changing your stats, having no effect on your looks.
And if you pick up a new piece of armor that looks cooler, pop it right in.
Right. Weapons too. You can change your colors on the fly. You can change everything about, so there's no dyeing, which is bull.
Yes.
I mean, if you remember Guild Wars, such a huge economy was based off of dyeing your armor just to look cool. No more dyes. I'm sick of dyeing. Like, come on. No one wants to just mix dyes all day and try to get that perfect combination. Spend $1 million on getting your armor to look like. Then just to replace the armor with another piece.
Yeah, when you get the better thing.
So I love that. Absolutely love it. Every day of the week you could have a different color for everything. So, good stuff. And you're not locked into certain things like your weapon choice, which I like. You can always respec, and then you can change your weapon, although I've noticed that you always have a point in that same weapon that you chose right off the bat. So if you chose bows right off the bat, you always have a 1 point, so you'll always be able to use them at some point. But that doesn't matter because you have such a gratuitous amount of points at the end that you just end up getting all these skills that you just have no use for.
Yeah, there's a lot of skills that you get that you don't ever use.
A lot. Actually, people are complaining about that, but that's such a fundamental part of the game that there's no way they'll be able to change it because it's so limited to the PS3, and it's, they can't just change it like that.
Yeah.
So people are kind of stuck in this situation where they only get to use 6 skills, and they have 8 skills and they're only level like 22, and they're, people just want to be able to use all their skills, but that would just completely change the balancing, that would completely change everything, so I don't know, that could never happen, to be honest, and I'm fine with that, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone, but, there's other games out there, so.
The Too Long Didn't Listen version, DCU Online, is a great, fun MMO, brand new.
Try it out.
And you should try it out. But as with any new MMO, there are plenty of bugs and problems that need to be addressed.
We'll be following all the changes that they make, and we'll let you know if this game fixes a lot of the major problems, and I'm sure that we'll be talking about it for quite some time.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated on that and following MMO Mondays. Next MMO Monday, we will be talking very much about Rift, for which we are both in the beta. So we'll let you know. It's touted as the WoW killer. We'll see.
People are really excited about it. Top seller on Steam. So, big things happening.
Andy is feeling underwhelmed so far.
Oh yeah. Just looking at gameplay videos. We'll talk about it later.
We'll save it for next week.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time.
So for AKA, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Andy.
Hope you enjoyed MMO Monday.
Stay classy.